Well, hello. This is Jeff and Danielle
Hello.
for our weekend Amateur Friday
Mhm.
edit. Ooh, I should
Amateur
post up
Saturday.
that we're at Amateur
Oh,
Friday.
yeah.
Should
Ooh,
post
look,
up that we're doing
editing
it.
just went live.
Oh, wow! Those guys are fantastic. I love them.
They're like a game changer.
Man, they're so cool and they have such great plans. They think of the best plans ever.
Clever and think of great plans.
They're clever and think of great plans. So I'm going to go ahead and log into this hog. So I didn't have to screenplay. Then I'm going to let people know we're doing the edit, and then it's game time.
Isn't that how we got Smish Smoosh?
I think that's how we got Smish Smoosh, so hey, if we can get
She hopped on, we
another
were editing something she wrote, and
doing
we
a
came here to
live
her.
edit of the reviews. She does have a creative music taste, though, I will say that.
Yeah, I know.
Doing a live edit of the reviews. No, Smish Smoosh is awesome. And a terrific writer, so if you guys are looking to produce someone's work, you know, definitely hire me, and then if not, Smish Smoosh. Just kidding.
Smish Smoosh first.
What? She's my, well, real cool. Anyways, these are the Amateur Friday offerings. The general plan here is we read all 5 log lines. We pick 2 of our favorite log lines, and then we read the first 10 pages minimum of those 2. If they're fantastic, we'll keep going. If they don't, and that's what they say, no matter what you say about a screenplay, if it makes you turn the next page, it's a good one. So if they make us turn the next page, yay. If not, we'll read the next one in the line. So that's the plan. Let's see here. I think I have... okay, cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and read over. He loves doing that. He needs to, like, link his pictures out. Anyways, we're about to get weird today. Like Studio 54 weird. First off, Senor Carson, apologize, no
so
post.
They're supposed to be weird.
Well,
that makes sense.
we glanced over them, yeah.
Like, interesting.
Okay, following Friday, okay. Anyways, Bill Cosby offering me drinks, sounds great. Alexxxa. In the year 2122, an insane humanoid recounts his epic quest to save a troubled sex robot he won off a Space Lotto scratch card. So there's a certain thing I usually say. Uh-oh, looks like a glitch in here. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Glitch City.
We're frozen.
There it goes. Rip.
Oh, are we still frozen?
I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to minimize this. I think the notepad is on. Oh my gosh, internet, right? Okay, there we go. The thing I would say about Alexxxa.
3 access.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny concept, but I know it's execution dependent, and I don't trust amateur writers. And I'm an amateur writer, so I wouldn't trust myself to execute on this, to be quite frank. So that's the risk. I think so. I would probably say no on that one. Okay. Destructo, a young programmer uncovers a conspiracy involving murderous androids.
What is it with robots?
I think it's like a sci-fi day, maybe. I don't know. I'm a little bit at a loss as well. Frank, aren't you Jeff?
Who are you really?
A girl is no one.
I'm no one.
A boy has no name.
A boy has no name. You just put on the face. Boy wears the face.
Alright, Destructo, a black comedy. Okay, a young programmer uncovers a conspiracy involving murderous androids. As he digs deeper, his investigation endangers his job, his brothers, and the woman he loves. So you kind of have a goal. I don't see an inciting incident really heavily in this. So I would say that you may want to at least give some sort of like concrete detail to at least give me a launching point. But it seems a little bit vague, and yeah, murderous androids. That could go so many different directions.
Yeah.
Also seems really execution dependent. So I'm going to say no on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Bon Jovi. Uh-oh, we're getting close. We're getting close to the bottom here, so we may have to reprise a few.
Uh-oh. Oh, yes, and then we'll read them.
Yeah, so we do 2 log lines. So we read over the log lines. We pick 2, and then we choose one, or we choose. So we pick 2 to review, and then we choose the winner.
Well, we read the first 10 pages at least.
Yeah, minimum first 10 pages. Indeed. Indubitably. Bon Jovi sucks! In 1987, New Jersey, an aspiring rocker can win the big break of a lifetime opening for Bon Jovi. When handicapped by a life-threatening hairspray allergy, he attempts to cleanse the world of all hair metal, beginning with the hometown heroes, Bon Jovi.
I mean, it could be funny, but it's a little weird. It's a little silly, like the hairspray allergy. Again,
Yeah.
I think, like...
But I don't know how the hairspray allergy ties to his hating Bon Jovi's. So for me, there's already a logic flaw in, like, the log line.
Because he
But how does that link to him hating Bon Jovi?
Because he can't be Bon Jovi.
Well, he was going to get a big break by opening for him.
Yeah. But as, like, a hair metal band, requiring a lot of hairspray. So he can't use hairspray, so he can't play the part of it. Like a rock star in a hair metal band. Yeah, that's why I'm like...
That's not like a clear linear logic progression. And even in comedies, you want, like, A equals B equals C. And then you want that linear progression. So I would say Bon Jovi. I'll just bring this down here. Loglines. Seeming logic and tough logic. Tough logic. Draft. That's what I would say. Uh-oh, I see things appearing on the thing. The thing with a thing.
She voted for the Bon Jovi one.
You voted with the Bon Jovi one? Oh, well, maybe I'm missing out.
I'm familiar with your deal. You should be Smish.
You should be. And then in the 80s, glam hands.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true, that's true. Big hair bands were the thing. I'll tell you right now, I voted for the Bon Jovi trip. Well, we'll see. I'm going to vote no for that read, but if you want to vote yes...
Well, let's see the other ones.
Let's see the other ones. So, if that's maybe the medium. Killing machine. When an MMA fighter discovers that she's been infected with nanotech that will transform her into an ultimate killing machine, she must regain control of herself in order to stop those responsible from launching a viral outbreak of cyborg-creating technology.
It's okay.
That seems cool. So she's followed and read a lot of Scriptshadow, which is encouraging from the Why You Should Read. And, I think it's... Out of a sci-fi idea, it seems to have like a clear main character with a clear goal. And like some sort of internal conflict, which is interesting.
I think
it's kind of funny, but it's
like
definitely strongest of some of them.
Yeah, if done well.
Yeah, this one, yeah. I would say the theme's pretty interesting. I'm cool with whichever you decide. I've read them all. Nice. Interloper. The devastating storm isolates their small towns. I would say yes on that one.
On the MMA one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The devastating storm isolates their small town. Idealistic cop must stretch her moral boundaries to team up with a brutal and relentless Interpol agent. Love morality. But you always can say it. It's like sort of like when you watch Cutthroat Kitchen and they're like, it's actually chicken parmesan, and you actually know it's a chicken strip, and you're like,
A chicken frittata and it's chicken nuggets.
Yeah, if you say it's chicken frittata, make sure it's chicken frittata. Not chicken nuggets. I don't know if you guys have watched Cutthroat Kitchen, but that is perfect television.
I showed it to him for the first time.
Cyborgs.
For the record.
Yeah, she did. Town vote. It's true. Okay, they have a devastating storm. They must race against town to find a deadly assassin trapped in the town with them. So I like that. Mystery to solve, potential suspects. I think that's probably the strongest logline of them all.
I mean, I just like the idea of the storm and like some moral stuff and like racing to find an assassin. I think that sounds good.
I think that's the strongest of the bunch in terms of loglines. I would say.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Regardless of what they actually read.
So I'm going to go ahead and clean this window out, and then I'm going to make sure I downloaded these, and then we're going to go ahead and get cracking. Let me just make sure that this is all lined up so you guys can actually read the notes. Whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy. Boom. Oh, weird.
Ooh.
This thing's like flipping out right now. Yeah, it's had a rough day. Oh, I think Adobe PDF is just like pooping its pants. There we go. Yeah, that was just Adobe. That's so sad. Adobe, you're one of the biggest companies in the world. How does your biggest app, a PDF viewer, break? Derp a derp derp. Derp derp a derp. That's a wonderful excuse you have, my friend.
Yes.
Graphical interfaces. I guess they are kind of tricky. You can ask our developers. Broken a few of those ourselves. I love 80s hair bands, so I was inclined to love that one. That's true. I think your music choices definitely indicate that, if anything. Alright, well I guess we're starting with Killing Machine, which is kind of good, because I kind of want to save what I think will be the best for last.
Fair enough.
I don't know, though. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's logline wise.
Logline wise. Page 1. First off, what do we do with our front covers? We leave them in Courier.
Don't anger Jeffrey.
Don't have weird fonts in your front page. Just have it in Courier. Ugh! Because they're trying to make it more than a PDF, which is why programs that just read PDFs are so much better. It's true. I don't really know what their MO is. It's like, guys, people only use it for reading PDFs. We should probably put more shit in there. Great idea. Anyways, but this isn't an Adobe review session, though that could be a long time. So anyways, look at this. You had a font change. So that always makes me sad whenever the title page is different. I always can be silly about it, but it's best practice to have the title page be the same font, which is Courier, as your draft. So title page.
And who would use spaces? I mean, tabs, obviously.
Bad. Yeah, spaces versus tabs. Not title page Courier. Bad. So we'll leave it at that. From an unknown bloodstream. Interesting. I do have song requests. I just saw my little bot thing. I do have song requests turned off because I don't know what. Because we're going to be talking a lot. Meltdown. Eyes log. Don't tell him about log. Don't forget to use the power of the phone. Okay, yeah. So many scripts in the blacklist have fancy fonts. Does that make you feel? I don't know. I mean, I get the sense if you're. Songs we distracted now, yeah. I get the sense that fancy fonts on the blacklist is one thing because you are on the blacklist. Oh, thanks for the host, Smoosh. You are on the blacklist, so you have a lot more flexibility. But it doesn't really change whether the story's good or not. It only is sometimes the sign of being an amateur, and especially if you're not on the blacklist yet and you're trying to get there, it just is just another thing where it's like this guy is focusing more on his title page than his story. I've read more stories with normal title pages that are good than stories with. I agree. In my personal experience, when I was doing a lot of reading, and this is just my own sign, when I would see that. My percentage of stories with funky title pages that were good is lower than my percentage of stories with normal title pages that are good. Not saying it's going to always suck. I'm not saying it's going to always be great, but I'm just going to say it's always a risk. So it's a risk. Is in my book. If I was a reader on this, I'd be like, It would be just like a little like mental fear note, like, oh, this is going to be a really crappy, hour because I'm scared that it's going to not be good. But as a reader, that's just a fear you have sometimes. Uh-oh, not capitalized, from an unknown bloodstream. So weird title page format. I get the sense this is trying to be one sentence. Towards the heart. Okay, so this format kind of works, but yeah, it's a little clunky to start out with, but that's fine. From an unknown bloodstream, red blood cells emerge. They bounce into each other and dance around weightlessly. metallic substance invades the area. What does that look like? Invasion. Like you want to show me what that invasion looks like. Does the like, metallic substance to shoot through the walls, like whatever that looks like, you want to make sure that's visual. Foreign molecules attach themselves to red blood cells. Each cell is invaded, they transform. One by one they change. The fluid metallic discs make their way through the artery and towards the heart. A group of silver cells rush towards the organ. As they hit the heart, turns gunmetal. It beats harder than ever. Alright, so it's pretty like so cool. So cool opening. The one thing I would say is yeah, just the wording, kind of like you have a repeated heart, and I guess you can't really do it. The heart, the organ, the heart. You could probably use it.
Yeah.
So use those pronouns, because it does kind of sound clunky if you're always using the noun over and over. And that's just more, doesn't matter as much in screenplay world, but in prose you want to watch out for that. Use pronouns. They are your friends. Hey, what's up, Casey Magnus? Long time no see. Should have picked up on it. It's a bloodstream.
Hey, Casey.
What's up? How have you been? Long time no see, Casey. I hope all is well. We got some cool new fancy things. You can go like this. Writing tip. And you can get some cool fun writing tips because YOLO. Anyways, so cut to black. Update, processing, navigating, hardware installed, system online. So I would clarify, I think this is over the screen overlay, but I would clarify that that's what you're showing. Because, yeah, that's not always the most common way of representing that. Exterior marine and night, because usually you would have like super on black or something like that, not just like actually writing it in. So just a formatting heads up. Exterior marine and night, or at least that's what I've seen most used. The scared eyes of a pit bull stare into the water. They mutate and change the color from pink to silver to pink again. She whimpers softly as Catarina, 20s, shrouded in fire and mystery.
Is she actually wearing fire?
Shrouded in fire and mystery. I would really clarify that imagery. First, you don't necessarily need to, once I get the writing tip.
That's the idea.
Slap the hand. Inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Inappropriate final boss is inappropriate. Anyways, so I would say here that character description seems odd, and usually you don't necessarily need to have the parenthetical. No need for, and the fire imagery is odd without extra clarification. Because you kind of just drop that adjective in, and then we don't really know what it, like what to make of it. So it's kind of just like, oh, this is this, like, whatever. Okay. So I'll bring that over there just so I can see you guys' cool chat. Catarina removes a syringe from the dog's neck. The pit bull flinches in discomfort, but Catarina can handle her animal. Catarina feels, just phrasing. Catarina, okay, removes the syringe. Okay, the beast can handle her animal. Catarina feels a presence waiting for her. The beast incarnate.
What? How do we know that?
Boom. So remember, I think that type of stuff works in novels. You can talk about feelings in novels, though it still isn't best practice. But definitely in screenplays, you have to make sure every moment is visual. And this is one of those times where that feels a presence waiting for her. Does she look over her shoulder? You're leaving that up to the reader to fill in the blanks, and almost invariably, they will come up with a different image than what you have as the writer, so that will immediately start creating dissonance. Like, they're seeing something different than you want them to see, and that's really risky for your story and usually very bad. So
how do we know that the guy is the beast incarnate? I guess that would be troublesome. The dude standing there.
So like these, I mean, I know it sounds like your story is moving along well, but these little visual moments and how you're telling the story, as opposed to just the story itself, is just as important. And I think these are those flaws that actually hurt your story because you're missing on these opportunities to really communicate it effectively. It's time. Okay, boat night. She nods. It's time. Another one of these moments. Every time you write it's time in the action line, try to think of a better way to represent that. Zig Daggy's 30s, greasy, throws his cigarette into the ground. So a lot of characters, and a pit bull who's like, I'm assuming a ticking time bomb because he has something going on in his heart.
Is it a different pit bull?
Points at feels. Filter word, yeah. It's true. Every time you see the word feels, delete it. Okay, yeah. Zig Days, throws a cigarette into the ground. Imitating threesome approach him. Zig looks down at the pit bull. That it?
Is this a different pit bull?
I think it's the one that she just injected like the machine thing into.
Oh, okay. So that guy was at the boathouse.
Yeah. Lithuanian Zatit. Kasparas glares, and Zig opens the door for Catarina and the pit bull. He keeps Kasparas waiting. There's an event coming up he wants you on point for. Kasparas nods. Zig still refuses to let Kasparas through. You know he's just humoring you, right? My father doesn't care about your ambition, Kasparas. Why would he need to invest in you? He already know what you are. So because this is subtitled, you don't need to make his English sound broken. Unless that's just a misspelling, which both are probably not what you want. Third dialogue. I think this is page 3 now. Yeah. Needs a polish.
But where is it broken?
He already knows what you are. Oh, why would he need to invest in you? He already knows what you are. Okay. Well, I think it's long.
Yeah.
Expo. It feels a little bit like it's not exposition, but it's like, my father doesn't care about your ambition, Kasparas. Why would he need to invest in you? He already knows what you are. Long dialogue line, especially since he's had 2 back-to-back. Kasparas says nothing. The man mountain stares at Zig with a special kind of determination. A group of Lithuanian lackeys. Accidental alliteration.
You just read it broken.
True. I got so into my performance, I couldn't help myself. A group of Lithuanian lackeys circle around a gated pit. A snarling Rottweiler, twice the size of the pit bull, is chained up inside. Zig guides the trio through the boathouse. The Rottweiler spots the pit bull, grows manic. The pit bull cowers. Dinner's up. The lackeys laugh it up. The smirk creeps into Zig's face, but immediately suppressed when he follows Kasparas' eyeline up to Algo Daggy's 50s, suave, astute. He watches from the office above them. Zig swallows hard. Kasparas isn't fazed. Later, the pit bull stares through the middle fence to Catarina as the lackey secures the gate. Spit shoots out of the Rottweiler's jaws as it growls ferociously. Its eyes lock into its victim. The pit bull looks back at its owner, begs for mercy. It's another kind of non-visual moment, but you can kind of, I guess, piece it together. I'm assuming the dog just looks really sad. But whatever. So he takes his position under the raging hound, grips his chain, looks over to Kasparas, and announces to Catarina. 3, 2, 1, the dogs are unleashed. Rottweiler charges, but the pit bull keeps its distance, circle around each other as the Lithuanians yell their ferocious canine. The Rottweiler lunges once, twice, but the pit bull bats it away. The Rottweiler goes back on the attack, but this time the pit bull faces it head on. The sound of the pit bull's ramping up its offense spell? The sounds of the pit bull ramping...
Spell victory.
Oh, spell. Okay, I'm too into Dungeons and Dragons mode. Offense spells?
Yes, I cast a fence spell.
It's okay, I'm taking notes on your performance. Zombievers.
Nice.
Interesting. That sounds nice. That sounds very nice.
Yeah.
You know what I think? The Rottweiler
sounds like Jeffrey would be a better actor.
I'm a terrific zombiever. You know what I think? The Rottweiler pins the pit bull down. It sinks its teeth into its helpless opponent. Sad whimpers echo around the boathouse. Ambition is a bitch. Bang! The pit bull falls. The Rottweiler retreats. Kasparas stands above them holding a smoking gun. He looks at the office, but Aldo's gone.
Why did he kill him?
I don't know. I thought so.
I thought the Pippo was
I thought
a
the
good
Pippo
one.
was gonna kick his ass because he had superpowers.
Yeah. What was the lesson there?
Yeah. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take away from this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Hold this just for a sec. I'm just gonna. Not sure what I'm supposed to learn. The dog with the magic stuff just dies like a noob. Work emails on Sunday. No, it's work. Yeah. That's how you know you work for a startup, guys. Happy Sunday. Anyways, off we go. As the Pippo falls, a Rottweiler retreats. Casper stands above them, holding a smoking gun. He looks at the office, but Alva's gone. Catarina pulls the body of the Pippo into the trunk of their SUV. She's about to shut it down when she hears a tiny cry. A flicker of life appears in the dog's dying eyes. Catarina strokes its face tenderly. I thought this time we were so close. Casperus doesn't matter now. Do you want to be Catarina?
Yeah. I thought this time we were so close.
It doesn't matter now. Casperus appears behind her. Determination comes over his face. He draws his weapon. We have work to do.
Bang! Bang! Does he shoot her?
No, I think he shoots the dog. I'm guessing. Because it's like still alive.
Yeah, exactly. If she's so wreathed in fire and mystery.
That's true. Hey, what's up, Sim Lover?
Hello.
Buongiorno. Yeah, so...
Ça va?
Catarina doesn't seem also... And that's the problem. Whenever you describe a character like also special and the reader doesn't actually see them as that, that's that whole point. Whenever you use vague imagery, then eventually there'll be coming a time when something different happens as what the reader's already thought up, and they're like, hey, wait. And those are not good moments for a read, usually. Yeah. Doesn't seem that fiery.
Or mysterious.
Or mysterious. The grubby hall dominated by a metal cage. It's surrounded by barely sweaty spectators. The air is thick, stagnant. So I like the imagery of the dog fighting versus the people fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Is a late 20s, an African Terminator in both body and soul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means, but I guess she's a really tough fighter. Dina Bartlett. So a nice imagery between dog fighting and, hey Richie, how's it going? Good to see ya.
What's the little symbol next to your name?
Because I'm part of the Horde, girl. Deal. Duh. It's like a Blizzard thing.
I see.
From World of Warcraft. There's so much. I think it was actually. Richie Wrights that showed me I could do that. Or somebody did, and then everyone started just doing Horde because it's cool to have symbols by your name, obviously. Yeah. But I think nice imagery with dogfight versus people fight. But I would want to learn something from the dogfight scene. It seems like there's not much that really happens from it, or that I take away besides like the most expected outcome. Ladies, protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Dina glances around at her audience. She locks into a gruff, sculpted guy with the same no-nonsense expression that she has. He is Sam, 30s, her trainer. I want a clean fight, and if you want to touch gloves, do it now. Homegirl offers a fist. Dada isn't interested. Let's go. Let's go. The ref moves back, and the two fighters approach the center of the cage. Deanna. I think it's Deanna.
Yeah, it's Deanna.
For some reason, I don't know where I got that name from. She writes flexes.
The English word has 3 consecutive double letters. Bookkeeping.
No, it's cool not to have symbols with a name. By not being a mindless corporate wow shill. No!
It's bookkeeping.
What?
Bookkeeping.
What are you talking about?
The riddle.
Oh. Bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping.
Cool. Beast. That's why she gets paid the big bucks.
That's right, yo. They put me in the cage.
Yeah, with the referee.
With the white homegirl.
Yeah. White homegirl's about
to
get dominated. Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to be a happy time for you right now.
Uh-oh.
The ref moves back, and the two fighters approach the center of the cage. Denna pounces from the outside with 2 sharp jabs. Homegirl blocks, but Deanna keeps going. She looks for the takedown, but Homegirl breaks free with an elbow to the back of Deanna's neck. Deanna steps back, raises her hands, looks with gritted teeth. Deanna moves forward quickly, swings and misses, takes advantage, and plants 2 brutal kicks into the Homegirl's thigh. So this is actually interesting, because both of these action scenes, because we're not learning anything, they kind of, I find myself skimming over them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with action, is action just because action is never really that interesting. You want to have a surprising turn or something you learn from it. And this is something I struggle with in my writing too. So it kind of rings especially true for me, because I have to like always make myself think, well, what am I doing? Are they just fighting cuz? Always read slowly. What will I learn from the outcome of this fight?
That's bookkeeping. B-O-O-K-K-E-E-P-I-N-G. That's how you spell it.
I don't think so, actually.
Look it up.
Shit. She's right, goddammit. Damn, she's good.
Spell it with 2 Ks. We googled it. That's what I'm here for.
Obey, final boss. Never doubt us. Let the anger flow through you. Just writing. Yeah, losing the name. All this place is already where we've had to guess what happened. Specific action is part when it's so vague elsewhere, and it's true. It's kind of like a little bit, yeah, the description is kind of.
Don't worry, Smish.
That's right.
It's okay. I had to think about it too. I was like, there's 2 Ks.
She's the brains. I'm the edits. Sam clenches his fist in victory. He approached from behind a hooded woman. That's it. Wait. Homegirl swings and Denna goes in for the kill. Smashes form against Homegirl's head. So she kicks her butt. Stunned. Denna locks an armbar. Sam clenches his fist in victory. He's approached from behind a hooded woman. That's it, the referee says. Denna refuses to let go. She glances over at Sam. Denna watches her hand him something. Homegirl yells out in pain as her joint is bent to an inhumanly degree. I don't know if that's right.
I think it's incorrect.
Well, it's
degree,
bent
probably.
to, yeah, because if it was bent inhumanly to an extreme degree, that would be, because that's modifying degree, which is a noun, so that's an adjective. I would just say, sorry, we're grammar Nazis before we're story structure editors. True.
Inhuman degree, yay.
Okay. Oh, I should not do the arrows, or else it will freak out. For some reason, it does not like that. It thinks it's HTML markup. Okay, Homegirl lets out. Okay, yells out in pain. Okay, Schleck shall never let go. Car park night. That seems like a weird moment for the character. Like, I won! Oh! Still twisting. Like, okay, you're weird. That makes, especially since I'm guessing this is your protagonist, that makes her really creepy and unlikable. Like, dude, girl, Chad bro, chill. Sorry, my keyboard's super loud. I know. Shame on me. I'm going to probably bring in a nice little mic one day, but it depends on when I save up monies. Exterior car park night. Denna makes her way out of the venue. She's looking for Sam. So I would, and I think this goes back to Weirdwayan's comment, give me at least one sentence, or at least one like brick of 2 lines of action of scene description. Like it's dark out, like whatever. Give me a little scene description to set the stage. You want to be Sam? Or do you want to be Deanna? You're not paid by the hour, you know.
Call it overtime.
Sad grabs her hands. He inspects them. I'm serious. You keep showing them that side of you. Keep letting your ego take over your fists. And moves up. His hands move further up Denna's arm. She pulls back quickly.
I'm not here to make friends.
It's reckless. That's what you are, right? Can't change that. It's kind of a weird line, like very like defining the character through dialogue, which never works. I feel like to define character through dialogue, and it's best to do this. Alright, the girl who came up from me.
That's me. Deanna hears the truth in these words. How do you know that, though?
Oh, where? Yeah. Also. Like, yeah. Yeah, we'll put that in piece 7. Show, don't tell. Alright, anyways.
The girl who came up to you during my fight, she trying to steal you away from me?
Sam smiles.
She must have been, what, 100, 110 tops? Do you think she's worth it?
She didn't want me.
I saw her give you her number.
Sam sighs, fishes out something into his jacket. It's inside pocket. He takes a second and stares into Deanna's eyes. I'm gonna need you to start listening to me. I need to know you're ready. We've been working on this for too long.
Tell me.
Sam twists the item between his fingers. He presents it to Deanna, an arrowhead. It takes a second to comprehend. Usually, all caps instead of underline is what I've normally heard, but your call. I don't think that matters that much, but if you want to highlight something, I usually recommend all caps, personally. Off you go.
How much?
2.5. Deanna feels like she's won the lottery. How? Do you see that? Show, don't tell. X2. She goes to scratch the arrowhead. Sam pulls it back. What was it you said when we started? It's not about the titles or the money. When you're in the cage and there's nowhere to go, there's only one thing that should be on your mind. Deanna thinks and resigns herself to the point.
Right.
You might be the only one stepping inside the cage, but you're not the only one with something to lose if you don't come out. Sam touches her face lovingly. I'll always be in your corner. He places the arrowhead in her hand. Just make sure I'm there for the right reasons. Just make sure I'm there for the right reasons. Maybe that's like he's gonna always do it.
Or something like.
Yeah, I mean,
because, I don't know.
He'll be there no matter what, but she shouldn't be an a-hole, so that he doesn't represent someone bad. But that's like a vague.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an odd line. I'm there, odd line. And I would say the dialogue throughout seems a bit funky, like a little bit on the nose. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
There's faces. Huh. Let's see. Launch your work edited. Uh-oh. Where are our moderators at? Smish Smoosh. Are these legit?
Don't click it.
Oh. Is this person cool?
Maybe they're okay. Oh, it must be like a jump scare thing. Oh, these people.
Smish Smoosh will end the world.
Just like making sure the writers. Good call, Smish.
I'm sussing them out.
The spammy corner.
Yeah. Well, we'll let the moderator decide.
Yes.
I will defer to Smish Smoosh's immortal powers. Anyways,
cool.
Off we go. I'm a writer. What's up, Aaron?
Hello.
How's it going? What kind of stuff do you write, Aaron? Okay, so just make sure I'm there for the right reasons. Deanna's building night. It's raining. Deanna leaps out of the cab. So right now we're editing a screenplay from Amateur Friday on Scriptshadow. Or Amateur Saturday now, I guess. I used to be there when it was Fridays.
But
yeah. Okay, anyways. The lock turns when it's raining. Deanna leaps out of the cabin, rushes towards the building. Lock turns from the inside. Deanna pushes the door, but it's stuck. She forces it open, hands inside. Her place is small but well kept. Pushes open the door. On the inside, her son, Andre, sleeps on the top of the sheets. Luma, 60s 30, Deanna's mother, watches with fierce intent. I waited up for you.
I told you I'd be late.
And that's what I told him. He's like you, he never listens. I guess her mom's Latina or something. Deanna clips into the living room, drops her jacket and bag into a recliner. She grabs a hold of her wrist, massages it down. Lulama looks disappointed. You said you were done with all that. Deanna drops her arm. Every night you go out there, put your body on the line, you think about him.
This is for him, Lulu. This is for all of us. What else am I supposed to do? This is who I am.
Alright, well, we're going to ban them anyways, just so they don't ever come back.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care. Ban. Destroy.
Ban.
I'm very heavy-handed.
Ban. No nonsense here.
I don't ever care.
No nonsense.
Vishnu the Destroyer.
Odin the All-Father.
Bow before me. Do you see that blood on the streets? Look at their example.
Actually, in D&D yesterday, Jeffrey used his skills to convince a group of religious nuts that he was their god. It was pretty good.
Yeah. I'm really sad we can't stream our D&D game. I was gonna try to let Smishmoosh murder them, but you know, she is a young knight, not seasoned by blood and battle.
I'll season you with blood. that came out wrong.
Banned. Leave.
Dang it again.
Anyways, so what's happening in this scene? But yeah, so you write adventure stories, Aaron. That's awesome. Do you have? We always say in the chat you can always post your logline if you have like a story that you're writing and you want to share about. Everyone here is usually pretty good writers, yeah, feel free to share your stuff. Also, okay, Deanna. So this is for him, Lulu. Okay, so she's doing it for her daughter. So there's a few things I like to do in these types of scenes. One is whenever you're introducing a character, there's three things you kind of want to show. One is how they interact publicly. Two is how they interact with people in their private friend, like close family circle. And three is how they behave on their own. So I think the one thing I like is that you're doing that. You showed me the public, her with her manager, her in a fight context, the private, her with her mom. And then, you know, at one point I'm going to be looking for a scene with Deanna by herself, kind of who she really is when no one's watching. Those are very vulnerable moments, and people, that's why you go to movies, because you want to see people at their most vulnerable to a degree. So good to show character, public, with friends, close friends, and private, and by themselves. I like that you have two. Alright. You keep this going, someone will find a way to exploit your weakness, your anger. Can't you see? So that's a bit on the nose. And that's, yeah. I mean, one, honestly, most stuff you read doesn't even have weaknesses or character flaws, stuff like that. So I do appreciate the fact that you have it. But I think you've already done a great job of showing me that. You know, she was twisting that poor, you know, her poor combatant's arm and, you know, hurting this person.
Oh, yeah.
So that, that was more like a don't let go, I'm obsessed type thing. So that's like that whole thing. Now you're telling me it's anger. But for me, the flaw you showed me was like this obsession and kind of like, I'm not going to like, I want to make you hurt. So these are different. So this is the whole point. So there's kind of two notes. One is this is on the nose. Two, make sure that what you're saying the weakness is matches what the reader thinks it is, or at least what you've developed so far. On the nose dialogue, saying the weakness, and
on the nose?
And make sure it matches what we saw in the ring. Because I don't know if it does, personally. I think it feels different. Writes all this down feverishly. Yeah. I wish to know as far as her weakness seems not to pay attention. Yeah, her weakness.
Too important information.
That's true. I guess they've been telling her some stuff. Like, I don't really know what the significance of the arrowhead was either.
No idea.
It seemed very random, and it was unexplained. I probably should put that in, but I won't dig into that yet. I was kind of waiting to see if it got explained later, but I don't think it is. I'm tired. Just want to take a shower. Oh, yeah, it's you.
Oh.
Sorry, back.
Lulu, I'm tired. I just want to take a shower and.
Lulama's
from the south now.
Lulama's face. Gotta shift the.
Yeah. You
know, Lulama's face. Should I do the mama's south voice? Tells her that this is gonna be a problem.
I thought Miguel was coming out to fix it.
Build. I guess I'll still do Latina. They moved around a lot. Build infestation problem. Big infestation problem in this building downtown apparently. Plus.
What?
He won't fix it because he's selling Diana. Said we've got until the end of the month.
God damn it!
Diana! Diana, no!
No, she's Italian.
Diana. It is Notepad.
Amore.
It is Notepad++. It is indeed. Gotta love it. It's the best app on the planet. Andre's bedroom night. Diana places her son gently in bed. She strokes his face lovingly. Mama, why are you mad?
I'm not, sweetie. Mama's just tired, that's all.
So, these are very... God damn it, Diana! So these are a little bit cliched moments, right? And I think that's okay. Like, I can't pay my rent. Or, like, we're getting kicked out in a month.
She has to, like, work in this fighting ring.
Out in a month. / fight for money. Money.
Money.
Is something we've seen before.
Yeah, when does this nanotech come in?
Yeah, I am looking for two things. How does this specific character, like, go about, you know, encounter these problems? And where's the nanotech? Because, you know, having to deal with rent is one thing, but she's dealing with these problems in the most expected, predictable way. So that's like a problem, right? So whenever you have someone encounter a problem, even if it's a cliche problem, you want to make sure that how they're doing it is specific to their character, and especially in the beginning of the book, give it extra thought. Like, write it down. Like, how would someone deal with being low on rent? She would be like, shit. She would go back to the gym. Like, she'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and keep training. I want to make sure I can pay my rent. Like, you know, whatever that looks like. That tells me more about the character than her being like, ah, damn it! Like, maybe that's her anger, but, you know, she's not doing anything that actually, you know, is paying a price. So that's also, like, kind of a bit underdeveloped, I would say. Gym night, industrial space, then loads up heavy bag. Okay, starts slow. But I don't know if this is because of the rent or if this is just something she always does.
Why is everything bolded now?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
Her it's methodical, direct, powerful. Andre. Should I be Andre?
Yes.
He'll be Italian, I guess, because Andre. Because she didn't give me any character description. Oh, so I don't know who Andre is, so I'm going to guess Italian.
It's her son.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What? Oh, but why is the bedroom intercut with? Oh, it's an intercut? Oh, weird.
What does that mean?
Oh, so it's like when like they're talking and like the scenes in the background, and it's like, yeah, they're trying to like. So I think this is what her intercut is: the bold and the non. That's not the best way to usually do it. She should be making enough money for a cheap apartment. Yeah. Yeah. Stank industrial space. Deanna lives in a heavy bag.
So what's going on while we're seeing this?
So she's talking to her little baby in his bed, and she's like, "Hey, Andre, my child," and then like this is backflashing to like her like kicking butt.
Got it.
A stank. A stank industrial place.
You're a stank.
That's what it says.
No.
Stank
The
industrial
perfect
space.
description
Deanna
for
loads
you.
up a heavy bag, starts slow. It's a methodical, direct, powerful. I hear Grandma's talking about moving in with Uncle Cozy.
I won't come to that, baby.
Hits go quicker, more destructive. But where will we go?
Mama's got a plan.
Edward looks unsure. Dennis smiles.
It's gonna be okay, I promise.
Anger builds into Deanna. She takes one final blow with a solid forearm. It's devastating. The canvas. Why doesn't she have godlike strength? Spikes back in his sand, pours out of the bag. That's. Oh, Stark. Okay. Breaking a punching bag is aggressive.
Yeah, even Buffy never did that.
Punching bag is not believable until she has her nanobots. Strength. And also, that's a kind of an odd intercut. I would consider, yeah. I would get, so yeah, we're here at page 10. I am going to call it at page 10 on this one. So I think the good things, you have cool setup and characters, like very visual world, and we get to know our MC well. I would consider, so almost every, and this is something I had to do for mine. I had like a prologue moment in my novel. What did it do for my novel?
Nothing.
That's right. You have a prologue moment here in this screenplay. And I am concerned that, so the only purpose of that would be to set up the nanobots. But you already do that with this crazy like heart magic, like that, like the heart gets taken over, which is all you need. I would say. Okay, I do not want that. Which is all you need. You have this like little heart, like, okay. You have this part here where like the silver is going in the bloodstream and all this stuff. So you don't need this other part with like these like random Serbian guys or whatever, Lithuanians.
Like, Lithuanians, Jeffrey.
I'm sorry. But so I would say, consider trimming or removing your prologue.
Yeah, plus I feel like the whole scene didn't have like a purpose. Like
yeah,
the pitbull,
I didn't learn anything.
The pitbull died. It wasn't even
it
like
got his
OP.
ass kicked. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what that dog was injected. That was the dog that was injected in the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's.
Wait, no, but I think it would be. I think we're supposed to think that.
But then they show the dog.
But then they show the pitbull. So for me, logic. And then she removes the syringe from the dog's neck.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm one thinking the nanobots are lame and stupid because they're like, this dog got its ass beat.
Yeah.
So I don't think that like the nanobots are going to help her that much.
But then it died, and it was sort of like maybe it was OP. Yeah. I don't know.
Like I think it's such a cool concept, but then the problem is once the dog gets his butt kicked, you undermine your high concept, which is these nanobot powered things. Yeah.
If it had just like freaking dominated everybody, that would have been pretty cool. It would have been like, ooh. Yeah. I want to see somebody.
Or make the dog OP domination. Also, we spend a lot of exposition time with Deanna, but nothing much happens out of the ordinary, and no suggestion of future conflict outside of Rent and Arrowhead, which I'm not sure what that was. Okay, so that's this one. We're going to go ahead and jump to the next screenplay, which I am pretty excited about, to be honest. That one looks kind of cool.
Cool. Interloper. Right above.
Derp. Interloper.
Interloper.
Enter surprise.
Yeah.
That's what our enterprise team was calling themselves.
Enter surprise.
Enter surprise. All right, let's check out the comments here.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I may take turns.
Oh, my leg.
The one half of Final Boss went an aggressive hike today, and she did not enjoy it very much. Or she did enjoy it, but I think it was painful. Painful. Learned her lesson. Okay, let's check out the Interloper. So, make sure my OBS looks good. So, yay! This is in normal font for the beginning, which makes me happy. This gives me much confidence in the writer, and I know that there's a higher likelihood that this will be a good story. And we'll see. These two screenplays, one had a funky start, one had a funky front page, the other one had a normal one, so we'll see what happens. On black. Super. So that's the right formatting. We actually had that same thing for Killing Machine, where they had this this different notation that we were talking about. So looking at Interloper do it correctly, I think, is always encouraging. If you study the format, you'll be good. Waits for Jeff to see the wall of text. Uh-oh. That's scary. Sad day. Here, you want to read? I might do a little bathroom break trade off real quick, too.
Okay. Whoops. Where were you?
Just read from the top.
Okay. Super. Interloper. A person who becomes involved in a place or situation where they are not wanted or are considered not to belong. Okay. Fade to exterior, the cliffs of Dover Day. Gray, miserable skies. Large waves smash against the rocks at the base of these iconic and tall cliffs. A large dock, busy with sailors. Ships sway in the harsh sea and wind that causes chaos for the fishermen who try to tie down their vessels. What did I need to read down? The walls. Oh, there's walls of text. Oh. Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, you're right. Woo.
How's it looking? Wall of text? I heard about it. I heard tell of a wall of text.
Yeah.
Yikes.
She said it, and then I scroll down.
You won't need anyone to read dialogue with you. Yeah.
I just read the top part.
Okay, TV sets makeshift platform, English cafe, cool, Weatherman. I do like, so this is one thing that is good, I like when you spend at least a line or two setting up the scene. So we're in a cafe, a small, typically English cafe, tiny square rickety old wooden tables. I think that's extremely valuable. So I'm actually going to give a page one positive note here for a change. But yeah, like that you spend a moment to set up the scene beyond, oops, the slug line. Very, very helpful. Okay, on the screen, the weatherman Michael Fish, balding and tiny framed man. The screen shows the image of England, icons for wind direction and weather news with Michael Fish. He talks confidently, almost arrogantly into the camera. Do you want to do the British accent, or should I? I know how much you like British accents.
You go for it.
Okay, are you sure? I know it's a big thing. Okay.
For you, it's for you.
Good afternoon to you. Early on today, apparently a woman rang the BBC and said she heard there's a hurricane on the way. Well, if you're watching, don't worry, there isn't. But having said that, actually the weather will become windy, but mostly his voice drowns out, overpowered by the large police carrier vehicle. It stops just outside the window of the cafe.
It doesn't set up the storm very well, does it?
Yeah. I mean, but who...
I would rather, like, hear, like, massive storm coming.
That's true, but also, like, who would ever on BBC, like, respond to, like, somebody calling and be like, "It's got a hurricane!" Yeah. And they're like, haha, we told that lady, that crazy woman who called us. Like, I'm sure they get millions of calls on the BBC, and they do not care. Seems that BBC... one thing I would consider is I would just have them be like, it's all sunny, everything's fine, like, and it kind of has that, like, almost, like, not that vapid's the wrong word, but, like, almost, like, too rosy face, like, it's almost, like, too happy. Yeah. Everything's okay, we're fine.
Yeah, that'd be good, and then
nice
you could,
little
like,
town.
with the wind kind of whipping outside.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Unless that woman was the queen. The queen called us today.
Yeah.
Super, snow down town, 13 miles from Dover Docks. Okay, the town street is lined with tall and green and brown hedges, narrow shops. Some of the shops are shut down, boarded off. One of them is sprayed with graffiti that reads, "Fuck off, Maggie," besides a picture of Margaret Thatcher with devil horns. This mining town has fallen on hard times thanks to the malign Prime Minister.
How do you know?
Huh? Yeah.
Is that just, I mean, is that okay there?
Sometimes, because he's already set it up.
The Prime Minister, though.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I think you're right.
I mean, I guess it's implied that the Margaret Thatcher with devil horns.
Yeah, show us more here instead of. But yeah, I mean, I think your scene description is fine because I actually would agree with because you already have a lot of action. This is a bar of text, and thank the Lord you did break it up at least into paragraphs. Give me some white space on the page, but why have one extra one when it's already visual and clear? You know, and you would also, especially in pages like this, you want to start using capitalization to show like the big moments, because if you're a reader and you're reading lots of screenplays, you're going to start scanning real quick. So you want to at least, you know, you have Rebecca Dawes capitalized, but like your big moments, like doors swing open, capital, like all caps. I'm like, okay, I need to care when I get this part, like, you know. So this could use some trimming. Show us here. I'll just say through FB2, trim your telling moments and use caps to help me get through the page. Sometimes you have to have pages of no dialogue. That's okay. Uh-oh, something's going on. Let's see, what makes me want to do with the docs? Disappointment. No, do not say anything. Shush.
We haven't seen it.
Shush. Seeing it at 9. Ma'am. Asking you to be calm. Ma'am, I'm asking you to calm down. To keep thine spoilers to thine selves. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day. Anyways, and that's how one of our regulars got banned. I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, even if you did spoilers, but I would be sad.
Don't do it.
Okay. Suddenly, the doors swing open with a violent thrust. Passing my little drink of poo. Last reverse in the vehicle is Officer Rebecca Dawes, 30, fair-skinned, athletic, and dressed in the same riot protection that her fellow officers are in. Looks ready for combat, dedicated by the book's officer. Dedicated by the book's officer. Wow, that's a lot of telling. You should just cut that line, and then if the rest of her action and behaviors don't show that. Yeah, that whole Rebecca is by the books, yeah. Just delete. I mean, that's actually great because it saves you some room on this page. I mean, if you can't, I mean, if I'm expecting you to show it through her action, and if not, then you have bigger problems in that line of dialogue anyways. Shake sword at Vince. Yeah, Vince, since you're a mod, you'll have to, you know, commit seppuku and like ban yourself for
Yeah. For the greater good.
For the greater good. For the greater good.
For the greater good.
For the greater good.
For the greater good.
Final mind blown editing.
Yeah.
Alright, what is it? Mind control. Acknowledges a few officers. Okay, looks away. The reaction train left. She throws a quick nod.
Whoa, did you just skip the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm just kind of blazing through it.
Okay.
Does an officer standing in a line.
Extremely green officer. Again, how do we know that? Okay.
Yeah.
Her only confidant. I don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. She has. There's not been a line of dialogue, so besides the TV, which doesn't count. So do not know that she's a confidant. Looks at her nervously.
It's like a book.
Yeah. Eyes fixed on the road ahead. Listens to the tip tap. Yeah, I would actually put that in. Reads like a novel.
Probably is a novel writer.
Study your literary exclamations.
Log letters?
128.
Oh. This is rubber-coated log.
You log lovers. Oh. Well, if one of our moderators wants to kill somebody, they're vicious and animals. Anyways, one of the officers at the blockade fires red fire in the path. It does nothing to stop the truck from hurtling towards them. Officers begin to panic, believing that the truck would stop. It doesn't. Comes crashing through the barrier, smashing metal and flesh in its path.
Rumble the son of a shoe?
So they all come like badasses, and apparently, like, so they're standing like in the road, like.
I thought they were in a car.
No, but they got out and like lined up, right? Citizens tip-tack sound of the raindrops hitting her helmet and trickling down her visor. So they're all like lined up with their stuff in their visors.
Oh,
A
yeah,
rumble, sound
right
of a large train. So one, I would switch scenes. Sound of a large train engine. So I would like cut and be like down the road, and then you see a car like blitzing down some like Lithuanian guy like Wah!
Lebanese.
Lebanese, yeah. Odd cut between scenes here to break up this house. It's the only thing I can really describe this as.
This is a little long.
But yeah, but see, you missed that they were all lined up because there's just so much blah, and there's so much unnecessary detail.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things.
Novel,
yeah, it's a novel. Like you need this much detail in a novel. You don't for a screenplay. Quite frankly. And a few of the cars were directly hit, exposed. So also the logic of this scene doesn't make sense, because why would a bunch of officers like line up like they know something's coming, and then just like stand and get run over by a car? That doesn't make sense to me. Why would they line up, run over? Alright, Nim, 128. It's about to be rip. Boom! GG. GG no re.
Rubber coated logs. Nuh-uh.
Don't care. Feel the blood on your hands, moderators!
Gotta get cutthroat.
So you're saying about rubber coated logs, right? It sounded inappropriate. And I don't know Nim, so sorry. If she's cool, we can unban, but or him. Sounded inappropriate. We kill fast on final boss. Anyways, Rebecca's eyes shoot. I guess you can unban them because you're a moderator, but Nim is a regular. Oh shit. Oh, unban. Oh well. Rip.
Oh.
Rest in peace. Well, we can unban her later.
Him.
I think there's a way to do that. Oh, already banned. Unban? No. Well, sorry. Too late. Anyways, off we go. I'll figure out an unban system later.
We'll bring it back.
I think there's a way to unban. I'll just copy it into the notes.
Maybe just send him a
I'll
message.
do it later. Well, they can still watch and be like, oh well, oops. Anyways, off we go. Reaching down to it, she finds her baton, makes her way with John, making their way to the front of the truck. Peer with the front of it, smashed with blood. Driver, half hanging out, still alive. Looks at him with open wounds on his face, and she still hears it. Movement in the back of the truck. Slowly steps toward the rear. The doors collapse slightly inward. Are tough to open as she reaches up. Friendly fire!
I'm sorry.
Throwing on her baton, she pulls herself from the truck. A crack in the exterior of the truck gives light, helping Rebecca tread carefully into mass, blood and crates.
I can't read all this.
Yeah, seeing she reaches for medical boxes, another officer, Freddy, climbs his way back into the truck with her. Sighs, hears a click of a shotgun. Put it down! The collector. Man, this is brutal. So definitely a lot. I'm actually going to say probably the first screenplay is in the lead compared to this one. Page 5. This is a novel, not a screenplay. Really need to read a bunch of screenplays to see how they handle action scenes like this. Use slug lines. You know, use slug lines cut, etc. I can do unban. Unban. I think that works.
Yay!
Yeah.
You
Sweet.
fixed it. Welcome back, Nim.
Resurrection.
Apologies. Many apologies.
Well.
Anyways.
So it goes. Anyways, collector slumps down, dropping a shotgun. Rebecca takes a moment, compose herself, standing and observing the body. Sound of a gargle scream catches her attention. From behind her, Freddy lays on the floor, hands wrapped around his throat, blood seeping through his fingers. Gun aside, her eyes are wide and scared, kicks out his legs, slowly pushing her body's twitching. Presence blocks light from entering the dark scene with that death truck. One locker, miserable, damp locker room. Small overhead light gently sways from side to side. So good scene description. I do like it, but
It's too much.
Rebecca washes the blood off her face and hair, her eyes directed without any warning. She bursts into tears, silently weeping. He uses lay on hand. Yeah, we gotta stream D&D.
I know, we can't convince our DM. He's a little camera shy. I've been trying. I have.
Yeah, she uses her powers of, like, cuteness, and even that isn't effective. Yeah, well, we're gonna go watch Game of Thrones with him tonight. But our little private game was super funny, because we did, like, a smaller, like, D&D session without everybody, because a few people were out of town, and it's pretty damn hilarious.
Yeah.
At least I thought so.
He convinced people he was God, and then I lit things on fire to
Yeah.
make it even more.
And then she ended up telling them that she was magical, which pissed everybody off.
And
Almost
kicked
got us all
out.
killed or put in jail. Stepping out towards her locker, wet feet delicately tap into the floor, towel fastened, still red, it reads the C word. The sound of those men laughing in the background echoes, so you guys are making fun of her. So that's kind of weird that, like, she just had this most absolutely horrible, grisly scene of, like, all her friends dying, and then they're like, haha, like, bathroom humor, like, anti-girl humor is 1 cliche and 2 odd after a grisly death scene.
A grizzly death? Like a bear death scene?
Is it just 1Z?
I think it's S.
Oh, cool. Derp.
A grizzly bear death scene.
Showing the players, like, from the DM. That'd be pretty sweet. We'll just tape it to his head. The guy to be their friends too. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of like an odd. Like, those moments are really. What's so interesting, and that goes to, like, the crazy part of some of the stuff you read is where it's like, did the writer ask himself what this character would do? If the writer had, you know, what makes this cliche moment specific to the character and the world? Because the world, they just came out of a horrible, grisly battle. What I would be encouraged to see was, like, one of the guys being like, hey, like, I'm so sorry about your friend. And then maybe he doesn't express it in a way that's healthy or kind. Like, maybe he's, like, coping too. But, like, this seems false on 2 levels. 1, because it's cliche, and 2, because it's not in context with the world, which was what makes cliches in the first place. So one of the cops got, like, mutilated by this car that, like, drove into their line that was, like, standing there asking for it to happen a little bit. So these kinds of things, I think you really want to start thinking about, okay, what makes sense? There's a few logic gaps in the action that are beginning to kind of take their toll. This hall is large, kitchen serving hot food in the officers, small TV in the corner, live feed a reporter, looking down to her feet, barely eating her food. Aggressive, tall, strong, is easily identified as a skinhead haircut. Xenophobe, pissed off, shoves food into his mouth. Sergeant O'Bromel. So the problem is, whenever you have big blocks of text, we scan. And that, I think, is exactly what's happening. Starting to scan a little because the reader feels that every piece of text doesn't always matter. So that's the problem when you have a lot of fluff, is eventually your reader realizes that you have fluff, and then he starts skimming because he's like, well, I'm not going to miss anything important.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a terrible, terrible moment. Because what if he does? And I bet you we have. I bet you while we've been skimming, we've probably missed an important plot point or character moment or whatever. But you were too easy on yourself, or that's sometimes what happens, at least when it happens to me. Because I do this too. Happens in my writing where I have a lot of fluff. I mean, she's read my writing. Does it happen where I have a lot of fluff in my writing?
Yeah.
Yes, and it happens to everybody. It's not the end of the world, but you have to, on those edits, you have to be absolutely ruthless. And this is a sign that if you have edited it, you maybe haven't gone far enough. Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yay, thanks for the host, Vince. I wish I had some chocolate cake.
I like that. Yeah, that could be like a...
Grumbling, muttering, the new girl's fault. Their buddies died. That's believable. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a great... we're kind of behind in the comments, but yeah.
Yeah, instead of just being like, oh, freaking C-word.
Yeah.
Ooh,
oh, chocolate frosted brownies.
Brownies are my weakness.
Rebecca returns. Yes. Yes, yes. Sergeant O'Bromwell, 50s, affectionately referred to as Sarge, a veteran, smart, and local to the region, is an authoritative, calm, and is approaching extremely tough. Again, you want to show that. He takes a moment, stands before his officers, takes his hat off. Freddy died. Do you want to be the Sarge? You can be the tough Sarge. I'll be the lieutenant.
Freddy died. We're gonna hold a collection for his family. Anyone that wants to put in, there'll be a bucket in the reception.
So also, not the most uncommon thing. Collection for the family. Like that's the most common moment, right? So I would be wary.
Yeah. Doesn't feel important.
Freddy died, and collection seems common in stuff I've read at least. The one thing is, like, what about Freddy's death, like, sets off the quest? We're at page 7. I'm ready for that. Or at least ready to at least have a suggestion of it. Like, you should be suggesting, promising the exciting incident from page 1. You don't have to show it, but you sure have to, like, set up a world where that inciting incident feels necessary or is, like, looming. Think about Harry Potter. You talk about grunnings for a few pages and Vernon Dursley. But the third paragraph, they're like, but they had this family they never talked about. And you know what's going to happen by the end of the chapter. That family just invades their lives of perfect normalcy. It's like those things are so critical, and that's what's not happening in both of these screenplays today. We just kind of waffle around, and I think the problem is you have that establishment. I think people misread some of Save the Cat, where they're like the setup, the first 10 pages, is where I just set things up and I can do whatever I want. No, you still need to create drama. You still need to suggest more drama to come. You still need to have conflict in every single scene. This really isn't a conflict scene. This is kind of like we're going to put stuff in the reception, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I'd rather you be moving towards the inciting incident than giving us details about the bucket and...
Yeah. You're going to need deployment to all riverbank safety checks and town coordination before sunset. The storm is expected to hit by 7 p.m. The weatherman says there won't be a storm. Okay, that's kind of like a bit, it seems like waffling. I know the storm is kind of like your event in the screenplay, but with somebody getting killed, you know, that doesn't really jar with like this whole storm. Like, those seem to be two separate stories that just happen to happen at the same time, as opposed to like one story. That goes back to making sure that you have one story, right? So, the storm seems to be a separate bummer story that happens in tandem, but not because of, you know, the... Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. I've been behind in comments, so...
Bin or pale, yes.
They say bin or pale, not bucket.
Right then, we got the bin here. Just
Yeah, indeed, the bin.
put your what do they call their money?
Chip. Put your
Yeah.
cheddar.
Cheddar.
Anyways, Weatherman is an asshole. Oh, that's you. Sorry.
Oh. Weatherman's an asshole. She also won't be the one to come down here and sort the flooding out. If we don't put up some sandbags. If we can either listen to him, or we can prepare for the worst. What would you prefer, Patterson?
Sandbag, sir.
Very good. You all know the drill. Get it done.
They stand there for a moment. So what's also weird is that they don't acknowledge the horrific, grisly death of all their coworkers, except for like a collection bucket, and then they're like onto something that seems so banal comparatively, which is sandbags. So you're like,
maybe that's part of the story.
Maybe that's like. But it seems like it goes from like the big problem to like the little one.
Yeah.
So the big problem is like a bunch of our friends died, and we should put out some sandbags for the storm.
Yeah.
Like that seems like very detail. Yeah. The radio is blasting on some. Sorry. They all rise from their seats. The sound of them shuffling out of the room. Rebecca sat down, lowers on her plate. Officer Dawes, my office when you're ready. Leaves swiftly as he entered. Rebecca sits alone in the mess hall. Radio is blasting. Sat in the driver's seat. Sat in the driver's seat, smacking their hands, is Oliver Simpson. Hippie. A lot of characters. Mm-hmm. Stranger, and it feels like a lot because I don't know any of them because they're all kind of just blurring into this mass of like kind of oddly written stuff. This doesn't have the same. Yeah, just not as cool. It's supposed to be comedic, but it falls flat. Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be like, oh yeah, that's work for the single.
Walks casually through the heavy rain, clothes soaked over the shoulder duffel bag. Oliver looks on the road in front of him. The stranger looks at the tiny road Ford Fiesta in front of him and makes his way towards it. Gets in. The car pulls away in the rain. Fiddles with the heart beating with the heating fans and aims the stranger. Where are you headed, mate? Dover Port. Right, you wanna? Oh, I can be the stranger.
Where you headed, mate?
The Dover Port.
Christ, that's about 100 miles from here. How did you end up in the middle of the countryside?
My friends left me behind.
They at the port?
I hope so.
I'm only going as far as Snowdown. I reckon you can get a lift to Dover whenever this shit clears up.
Stranger cracks a smile again. It's animated as if forced and natural.
I'm Ollie.
Gerald.
French? Belgian?
Night.
Hi, Casey.
Hi, Night.
Hi, Night.
Thanks again, Casey. Always fun hanging out. French.
Thought so. I'm studying European history
that
up
should
in
be.
Manchester.
I think that should be the stranger.
Oh. Yeah.
French.
Yeah.
Oliver nods to himself.
Thought so. I'm studying European history up in Manchester. Came down for the weekend to see me old dear. She ain't too well. Chose the worst bloody day, mind you.
Stranger doesn't respond. Just stares out the window.
What about you?
What about me?
You work over here? Just traveling?
I'm here for business.
Let me guess, you're a salesman.
Salesman? Oliver flicks his head, motioning towards the bag. Walking from door to door, deduction, regular like.
Walking from door to door. Walking from door to door, I think is what it's supposed to be. Deduction like. Huh?
That's weird.
Make a little short pause, I am.
Collectionneur, valuable objects. Alright, so I'm gonna stop at page 10. Stranger is actually interesting. Is interesting.
Out of nowhere.
But doesn't fit with the rest of the world. And that's the problem with having a lot of fluff in the beginning. You've already set up so much and all your scenes feel like they've gone on for a long time. So by the time you introduce like the fantastic element, it feels late and it doesn't feel like it agrees with like the very mundane world you've already set us up with. Mm-hmm. And it feels random because we've spent a lot of time in the mundane world. Probably more than we needed. Okay, so let's do the good. I do like The Stranger. Maybe it's just my performance of The Stranger, but I did like it. It was cool and creepy. And the first conflict. And good conflict. I mean, like, the cop bus thing was... It's a prologue, so it doesn't really matter. Like, you know, like, it's like, you know it's just a prologue, which is another reason I probably am learning to just cut the prologues and get to the story. And then, what else?
It's, well, it's... I mean, there's
yeah,
scene
good writing, good scene description. Good writing. I actually did like the scene description.
Yeah, it's really good.
And the improve. Cut. Oops, besides my spelling. Oh. Cut. Make sure every sentence necessary and break up your long scenes with slug line, with shifts using slug lines. I would also read a bunch of other stories that have this similar vein. Stranger should have been earlier, should have been used to break up those novel parts. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see, bring in earlier.
Especially since I think he's like the villain. He's the ninja assassin for the logline.
Yeah, which sounds cool. Like you have a cool promise in your concept, but it just it's you really do need to work on that first 10 pages. Because I'm like these look more normal screenplay. Like this feels more normal.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
This is like what I would expect to see. Though you do have some long dialogue bits there. Long dialogue bits. But yeah, I mean this is more okay. That first section though just really gets beyond good for your story. Like it's getting to be bad for your story. And especially the introducing the characters with like the abstract stuff about them. Like he's nice and kind. Like how can I see that? Show me him being nice and have him like talk to somebody. Those moments, that length, that like, you know, those paragraphs would be better used doing that. Show me about your characters. Don't tell me. Also, a few of the like events seemed random and illogical. Like line up for a truck to mush me. Smush. Well, that's all I got. Good job. I know it's tough getting these things out, but I definitely think one of the things that helped me the most in my writing was reading a lot of books about screenplays and reading a lot of screenplays, even though I'm writing novels now, which is kind of dumb, but whatever, that's my own fault. But I also have read a lot of novels. So I would really encourage you guys, especially this one, Interloper, seems like someone who may has spent more time in prose fiction as opposed to screenplay writing. But anyways, overall, great work. I think these are good setups. I think our vote today... what is our vote? I'm going to go for the first one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean... And so I think both of them needed a lot of work, but the first one needed less work.
Yeah. I stand corrected.
Yeah, I stand corrected. Gosh, maybe the title page was a weird thing. Shame on me. So it goes. Bon Jovi. Just like, yeah, pick a logline. But anyways, that is the show. I probably would say, if my guess is that neither of those will win Amateur Friday.
Yeah.
Because both of those were not the strongest. Maybe Bon Jovi will win if it actually read pretty well.
And then maybe we'll read it.
I got faith that they'll come around. Hopefully, hopefully these notes help. Like, I think getting good at writing takes time. I'm not there yet. I don't think anybody, I think everybody will say there's like a long road to go.
Yeah.
Just in all of our writing, so I think it's part of the journey. So, hopefully these weren't too harsh notes, but yeah, I think these can improve, and I'm excited to see them do so. Anyways, y'all, that's all for us. We are gonna go watch Game of Thrones and
eat some food,
and go kill some bad guys and stuff like that. So yeah, fun stuff. Anyways, y'all, take it easy, keep it real.